What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another fresh PCGS open box grade reveal video. This video, I'm gonna go a little bit quicker. I had one or two comments say my videos were too long, so I'm gonna make this one pretty fast paced. So buckle up, get your grading hat on, and let's get to it. All right, first box. I don't know the grades, so we're gonna play along together. I already see a body bag, so that's not great, but we'll get to that in a second. All right, let's do this thing. First up, we got a Franklin half covering up the grade. Okay, it's a 58, actually quite mark-free, so I'm immediately at a 66. The back looks pretty nice as well. Let's check the bell lines, see if they're full. Yeah, I would say they're pretty full looking without a magnifying glass. So I am at a MS66 FBL. Let's get it. Bang, 1 for 1. All right, again, we're gonna go through these quick, so follow along. All right, next up, we have a Bay Bridge commemorative $50. It's lacking a little bit of luster. It's a little dull, not bad though, pretty mark-free. So I'm immediately between an MS64 and an MS65. I'd say it's just a little lackluster for a 65, so I'm gonna go 64. Bang, bang, 2 for 2. I promise I don't know these grades, so I'm playing along just like you are. And I'm actually looking through the viewfinder on the camera. I'm not actually looking at the coin, so this is very comparable to what you all are seeing. Let's keep it going. We got a Barber half. Wow, this thing is gorgeous. These coins came from a collection of raw coins. There's a lot of really just choice original coins in this group, this being one of them. Although it's hardly worth grading because it's common date Barber, I thought this coin's surfaces were just phenomenal. VF35 or XF40, not quite an XF on the back, and the front misses as well. Actually, it's probably like a 30 or a 35, but I'm gonna go, since it's so original and beautiful, VF35. Okay, I'm fine with that. I just thought it would get the originality bump, so okay, we're 2 for 3. All right, next up, 1808. Holy smokes, nearly 220 years old. It's actually 1808 over 7. You can see that tiny little 7 peeking out from the top of the 8. Kind of tough to tell. But this is, once again, just a beautiful choice, original, attractive surfaces. I would normally be at like a good 6 on this. Actually, yeah. I'm probably just at a good 6. This can't make VG, even though it is just gorgeous. I wish this was just higher grade. With these surfaces, it would be worth a fortune. In this grade, it's probably only worth like 150 bucks. I know I'm getting awfully excited about a cheap coin. It's just you do not see them looking like this, unfortunately. All right, G6. VG8. Okay, it did make VG. Wow, it just barely squeaked that out. A little ding up there at the top. So I thought that, along with the wear, would hold it back, but I will take a VG. All right. This is a good submission so far. Let's keep it up. This makes up for the couple lackluster submissions we've had recently. 1916D. This coin was actually not from that collection with the others that I was talking about. I cracked this out of an MS64 holder. It was very ugly. This coin nobody wanted because it was like black, brown. It was pretty disgusting. However, when I conserved it to get all that nastiness off, it did reveal a few dings and scratches. So I'm a bit concerned that we're not going to get the 65 I was hoping for. And at this point, we'd be lucky to make a 64 because that's the risk you take with getting toning off. Sometimes it reveals scratches or hairlines. So in this case, let's just hope we retain the 64. Oh, man. Oh, great heavens, that is terrible. That did not go as planned. Well, that's unfortunate. We went from a 64 to a 62. I definitely jinxed it because I said this submission was going great. That is not great. That is a big downgrade. Look at that. I paid 365 bucks for the coin, which is definitely no longer worth $365. Wow, that sucks. We went from an ugly 64 to a really nice MS62. That seems a bit harsh. This coin is quite nice, and certainly I thought it was nice enough to retain the 4 or at least go a 63. So that one sucks, but let's continue. Okay, can we redeem ourselves on the Barber quarter? 1915P. This one I bought as an AU58, and I was hoping it would squeak out like a 61. I'm looking at it now. It does indeed have some slide wear, and this thing should probably be a 58. but I can still be hopeful for a 61. Dang, yep. Okay, fine. That is a gorgeous 58. That is how you want them looking. Wow, beautiful coin, nice surfaces, great luster, but just a little bit of wear. Okay, next up, 1876, this Carson City? No, 1876 S quarter. Okay, not exactly worth a lot of money. Not sure why I submitted this, but it did straight grade, even though it's got an old cleaning on it. So what are we thinking, everyone? Like XF40? Yeah, I'm gonna go XF40. Okay, yeah, that's a textbook 40. All right, what do we have next? Okay, a little Indian. 07. This should immediately strike you as 64 red brown. It's not red, it's not brown, it's not a 5, it's not a 3. Let's go. Wow, okay, that's what I get for being a little cocky. All right, I do see the marks in the field, but still, that's why I'm at a 4 and not a 5. Okay, well, not a huge difference in price, so I will admit that I was maybe a little wrong on that. Comment down below your thoughts on that one. Okay, can I redeem myself with this one? Whoa, look at that. All right, we got some purples going on. The back is not as nice as the other one. So this one I'm at a 3 red-brown on. Or is it a full brown? No, that should be red-brown. Lower end of red-brown, so more like brown-red. But I'm gonna go 63 red-brown. Locking it in. Let's redeem ourselves. Oh my gosh, what the heck? What is going on? So they gave it the grade bump, even though I don't think it's... Okay, I mean, I guess I can see a 4, but that cheek is a little chattery. All right, let's pull them out side by side. See, we got more marks on the one on the right, and the back is definitely less nice, but no red-brown designation. I agree this one's far more red, but this one I thought still had enough to just make the cut. That's a really nice brown, given that 25% of it is red. Too bad. Okay, we just missed the mark on that one, but we did get the 64, so I guess I'll take it. All right, next up, okay, another Indian. This one is got some interesting color. It's almost like a greenish, blackish blue. All right, will it make uncirculated? I'm worried they will call it AU58. Based on the quarter, they're not giving the sliders the bump, so I guess I have to call this a 58, even though I'd love it to be a 2. Yeah, 58 as well. Okay. Technically the right grade. I just thought there was a chance it could get the bump because it has some nice luster, some cool color. But all right, we'll take it. Next up, we got another Indian cent, 1878. This was from that same collection, just choice, original, beautiful coins. I'm not quite AU on this, but I could see XF45. Could also be a 40, but I think it's nice and original, so it deserves the 45. Wow. Okay. They are generous on copper lately, NGC and PCGS. I tend to be really strict on Indians in large cents, so I guess I just need to loosen up a bit because this is more like a 45 in my book, but who am I complaining? I'll take the higher grade. And we continue with another Indian cent, 1873. A scarce date as well. This is, you know, tough to find nice and original like this in XF plus condition. We do have 2 issues here. We have the ding on the rim, and then we have this nice scratch on the face. So that will hurt it by a grade. So I would have been like XF40, now down to a VF35, but I just said I need to loosen up on copper. So I'm gonna give this one a 40, AKA a 45 netted down 1 grade. Let's get it. What the heck? Wow, I really guess I need to loosen up more on my Indian cents. 45 with that rim ding and that scratch on the biggest focal point of the coin? Okay. Seems like 40 would have been a better grade for that, but I guess they just really liked the choice original surfaces. Okay, we will take that. What do we got next? Okay, another Indian cent. Let's try our best to nail this one, guys. We've been off on the last 2. So this one doesn't quite have the same beautiful chocolate brown finish. It has a bit of a red hue coming in, so not bad enough to details it for environmental damage, but there is a little bit of something going on. So that will hurt it a bit. Before, I think this would have been at an XF45 if it was all chocolate brown, but because of the not perfect original color, I would take it down to an XF40. Do you all agree? Before I reveal it, do you all agree with that? 45 down to a 40. Do you agree with that, or am I being too harsh? I don't think it's a 45. We got quite a bit of wear. This is borderline VF35. All right, I'm locking in a 40, and I think we're gonna nail it this time. XF, oh my gosh. I'm clearly not learning from my own advice. I just said 2 times in a row, I gotta loosen up. Man, 45. Do you all agree with that? I really think this is more like a 40. If it had perfectly original chocolate brown surfaces, I would say 45. Compare them. See how the one on the left just has a nicer shade of brown? See, it's like a reddish hue, and this one is just perfectly brown. So I thought that's why that would go 40. Okay, I really need to loosen up, but I think we're out of Indian cents. Yeah, no more Indians, only a half cent. So let's take a look at this one. Maybe we can make up for our misses on the last 3. 1807 half cent, really nice looking coin. I bought this as a VF coin, believe it or not, so I didn't pay much for it. And I said, you know what? I kind of think this would make XF 40. So that's what I told myself when I bought it, and I kind of agree with it now. Let's cross our fingers and hope for a 40. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, we just made it. I like that one a lot. These are tough to find nice. That one's probably going to CAC along with some of the others. Should we open the body bags or do the other 2 slabs in the other box? Let's save the disappointment. Let's do the final couple coins in here. What do we got? All right, what do we have here? Whoa, look at the toning on this thing. Another one of my crazy toners from a big collection I bought. 1879S. I'm immediately like a 3 or a 4. That's a lot of chatter on the cheek. It would be like a 3 without the color, but I think with the color, they will bump it to a 64. Locking it in. I hope I'm right. Bingo, we nailed it. 63 technically, but with the color, bumped to 64. That is a cool looking coin. Look at the purples and greens and blues. Very fun. We will take that. All right, final graded coin. Let's nail it. Oh my gosh, look at this. Holy smokes, another 79S. I don't know if these 2 were sitting with each other or in a roll somehow. It's got these like crazy funky crescent lines with the purples and blues and greens and yellows. Very cool toning, but we have a very large scratch going across the cheek. Nearly enough to call it unk detail scratched, but not quite. They'll just take it down a grade or 2. So we're gonna go from like a 63 down to a 62. That is what I am predicting. Could be a 1. Let's hope for a 2 with the color. We got a 3. So I guess they really like the color and they went from a 2 to a 3. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'm pretty sure when you have a gouge like that, it's immediately like a 62 at best, sometimes a 1 if it's got corresponding chatter, but I guess the rest of this coin is pretty clean. Ooh, especially the back. That was a pretty great submission. Let's see what they didn't like though. Hopefully nothing too rare and valuable in here, because I'm in a really good mood about this submission so far. We have this 1925 California. Actually looks like a decent coin. Let's get it out of the plastic. Let's see, what's the issue on this one? Looks pretty nice, actually. What did they not like about it? I would have graded this like a 64. I mean, environmental damage, like stained? I don't think so. I don't think it's really cleaned either. But they say cleaned. Huh. I think that's actually pretty nice. We will agree to disagree on that one. Not a super valuable coin, so I'm not too worried. Next up, we have this seated half that, let's get a good look at it. Could have been a nice XF45, but I guess they don't like the hairlines around it going around, so they will just call this like, yeah, XF cleaned. This probably has like a 20% chance of grading, so I might try it again or try NGC. Would have been a very pleasant coin, but unfortunately it is just body bagged for cleaned. All right, I can live with that. Oh, my trade dollar. I was so excited about this one. No, look how beautiful this coin is. I bought it in the same collection. I was very happy to see this. Just nice, original, beautiful luster, crusty toning. Tooled. Huh. Okay, not too sure. Or actually, is it something going on down here? Tooling marks are hard to find sometimes, but anywho, it did not grade, but that would look great in somebody's like raw typeset because that is just a crusty original AU trade dollar. Okay, 2 more coins. We have this Seated Liberty dime. Wow, I really like this coin, but yes, it does have a light cleaning, so they're gonna call it cleaned. Too bad because it still has a decent look to it, and I could see it in a straight grade holder, but I guess not today, cleaned. Okay, that's fine, whatever. Last coin, questionable color, 1891. Really? Dang, that's too bad because I cracked this out of a old Annex soapbox holder and it was graded like MS62. I got it super cheap, so I was hoping just to cross it to PCGS and get some cool true view pictures to catch the reds and greens and blues and fiery orange, but I guess not today. Bummer, questionable color. I disagree with that. This has been toning in an old soapbox holder for like 30 something years, so okay. But they don't know that. It just comes in as a raw coin, so they think it's been artificially colored. Too bad. Would have been a nice coin. I'll try again, maybe NGC on this one. You can let me know your thoughts down below. Okay, so overall, I think that was a pretty awesome submission. We got a lot of solid coins, solid grades. The only big disappointment was the Barber quarter that I cracked out of an MS64 just to get a 62. So that was a big screw up. But don't worry, all the beautiful Indian cents make up for it. Clearly, I learned I am way too harsh on the grading, so I will have to loosen up when it comes to Indians. Super happy with all the results of the copper in this submission. This half cent is a beauty. What a gorgeous coin. Yeah, we did get a couple details coins, but for totally understandable reasons. So yeah, I'm a happy camper with this submission. Thank you, PCGS. And thank you guys for watching. If you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And be sure to drop a comment and a like on this video so you're automatically entered in for the free silver giveaway. Last video's winner is right there. Congrats. Shoot me a DM or email to claim your free silver $50. And if you guys want to win next video, do those 3 things like I said, and you'll be automatically entered. Take care. See you all next week.